September the 21st, 2025. Guys, beautiful Sunday morning here. It's probably going to be warm. It's up to 75 right now, but not too bad. Not going to complain. It's dusty. We need a little bit of rain. That would help a lot. But what you're looking at, guys, is, of course, Gavin, and it says Team Gavin Newsom posts an apparent threat to Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Trump administration responds with fire. Newsom statement referred to the Secret Service. And what they did, it almost was the same thing that happened a week or so before Charlie Kirk got shot, was that he was going to have a bad time or a bad day. But what they did coming out of Gavin's office was put up the fact that today it would be a bad day for Kristi Noem, which is illegal. To threaten a life or threaten a political figure like that. Really anybody, but the stakes go way up because they're so publicly exposed to both sides of the deal. Anyway, they referred it to the Secret Service. Now, I don't know what's going to come out of it, but we'll read this. I think it's interesting. And this came out last night. Actually, it wasn't this morning, but it came out late last night. It says California Governor Gavin Newsom sparked an uproar on Saturday after his team posted a cryptic message to Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. As TGP reported, and this is Gateway Pundits coming from, Newsom has made himself the leader of the resistance against the Trump administration, particularly on the issue of illegal immigration. This feud has been heightened ever since Trump sent ICE agents to L.A. to round up illegals earlier this year. And you remember when Padillo Loco tried to bust in on her meeting there and they had to get him out of there. They have lost it, guys, and that's when it becomes another level of danger. Just like backing a wounded animal up. We got that, they're wounded, but now they went crazy, completely crazy. And I don't know what's going to happen, but this may be the end of some of Newsom's shenanigans. We're going to see, because Trump is not in a good mood on a couple of different things, and you can't blame him. We're going to get into that too. It says, perhaps with this in mind, Newsom's press team posted a tweet that may read as a threat to Noem's life. It was certainly vague enough to be interpreted that way. The post reads, quotation marks, Kristi Noem is going to have a bad day today. You're welcome, America. Now, how would you take that? How else can you take that? Kristi Noem is going to have a bad day. You're welcome, America, Governor Newsom's press office yesterday, September 20th. Says several accounts on X posted somewhat similar statements shortly before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. For example, one account, Fuji Senchel, don't know who that is, posted on September 5th about something big coming soon. They urged followers to check the news. 5 days later, shortly after Kirk's death was confirmed, they quoted the Post and wrote, well, that's that, and followed up by saying, another chud bites the dust. Again, evil, demented, probably has to do with Newsom, Schumer, that bunch. The Trump administration agreed that Team Newsom's tweet looked like a threat. Assistant Secretary to the Department of Homeland Security, Tricia McLaughlin, slammed Newsom for hiding behind a keyboard to threaten Noem when he's too cowardly to trash talk her to her face. This reads like a threat, McLaughlin wrote. This is very ugly at Gavin Newsom. Your keyboard warrior team may hide behind their laptops and spew this kind of vitriol, but you would never have the guts to say this to her face, she added. He wouldn't. Says Acting U.S. Attorney Bill Essiel said the alleged threat has now been referred to the Secret Service. We have zero tolerance for direct or implicit threats against a government official. He said, I've referred it to the Secret Service. If this post was not intended as a threat to Noem's life, then what was the purpose behind it? Again, Acting U.S. Attorney Bill Essiel. And all of this happened yesterday afternoon. Now, Trump is upset about it. Him and I know Vance is going to be there. A couple of others. I have not heard if Kristi Noem's going to be there. She was not on the speaker's list. But I think it was Trump is on that list. You've got 2 or 3 other people writing in there. Stephen Miller's going to be there, J.D. Vance, and a couple of other ones. I'm not sure about Nome, and I'm not sure about this next lady we're about to talk about. Now, Trump put this up on his Truth Social last night, and he's pretty aggravated at Pam Bondi. And for you guys that have watched a lot of our live feeds from the White House, you notice just about every time lately Trump mentions, is something going to be done, looks at Pam Bondi or mentions her name and says, are you going to do anything? Well, anyway, he's just about had it. And this, I'm sure this came out about the same time the post from Gavin Newsom and all came out yesterday. Donald says, Pam, I have reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially it's the same old story as last time, all talk and no action. Nothing is being done. He said, what about Comey, Adam Shifty Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done. Then we almost put in a Democrat-supported U.S. attorney in Virginia with a really bad Republican past, a woke rhino who was never going to do his job. That's why 2 of the worst Dem senators pushed him so hard. He even lied to the media and said he quit and that we had no case. Trump said, no, I fired him. And there is a great case, and many lawyers and legal pundits say so. He says, Lindsay Halligan is a really good lawyer and likes you, Pam, a lot. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation, and it is. And credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. President Donald J. Trump, 5:44 p.m. yesterday afternoon, September 20th, 2025. Now, that's the best thing I've heard in a while because there's been some feet dragging on it. Didn't want to complain a whole lot because sometimes there's things behind the scenes that we're not aware of. But Donald Trump is aware of them, guys, and he's had enough of it. I'm glad and I'm proud of him for doing this. And she always now has this sheepish kind of looking down to the ground look, like she doesn't want to look anybody in the face. I don't know what's going on. I don't think Trump would be pushing for all this information to be coming out if he was guilty of anything. And we said before that the Dems would have used it before the election against him to try to taint his ability to be reelected. But this is going to be interesting. We're going to be going live about just before noon today. And the funeral is scheduled, or the memorial service is scheduled for, I think, 1 p.m. Eastern time, which would be noon, or they're going to go live at 1 p.m. and the actual service starts at 2 p.m. Eastern, if I'm not mistaken. But we're going to go live about 11:45 Central and give everybody time to get in there and get settled down. We're going to see how this thing works out. It's they're saying right now the enrollment for Turning Point Turning Point USA has skyrocketed. People are joining the different organizations associated with it, and that more and more college campuses now are, especially the conservative side of them, are asking to become chapters of Turning Point. So it's growing rapidly. And I think it's going to be, I think there's people overseas looking at the same thing. So God bless Charlie. Wouldn't want that to happen to anybody. And he has a family. But he will not be forgotten, will he? So we're going to be there, and you're welcome to join us. We'll be one of the sites that do allow comments. A lot of times, you know, that you can't comment on some of the sites, but we do, and that kind of makes it a little bit better to me to be able to talk to you guys. But again, just a little before noon, it will be going live. That's Central Time, and you guys be there. It's a heads up. Be safe.